Chapter 26, Mishnah 1. This chapter deals primarily with the laws of Tumah that apply to various leather utensils. This Mishnah discusses a law that applies to several utensils made of pieces of leather or wood that are flat but are tied closed to form a container. The Mishnah begins with a list of utensils that the law applies to. An imkian sandal consists of a flat piece of leather with a string inserted through slits or loops around its outer edges. A person would place his foot on the piece of leather and tighten the string, closing the leather around his foot to form a sandal. Similarly, a drawstring purse is a flat piece of leather with a drawstring threaded through loops around its edge. When a person wishes to use the purse, he pulls the end of the drawstring, causing the edges of the leather to come together and form a pouch. These utensils are both subject to a specific law that we will state below. Rabbi Yehuda says a basket made of palm strips is also subject to the same law. Like the utensils mentioned earlier, this basket was made from a flat sheet of woven strips of palm branches, with drawstrings, also made of palm strips, inserted around the edge. When the strings were pulled, the edges of the sheet bunched together and formed a basket. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says a Lukian sandal is also subject to the same law as these. Lukian sandals were similar in construction to Imkian sandals and the other utensils mentioned above. The Mishnah now presents the law that applies to the above utensils. The law relates to their ability to become tameh. We have learned in Chapter 2, Mishnah 1, and Chapter 15, Mishnah 1, that a leather or wooden utensil cannot become tameh unless it has a container. Accordingly, the utensils listed above cannot become tameh unless their drawstrings are inserted, because the drawstring allows the flat pieces of leather or palm strips to form a container. In addition, even after the utensils have their strings and are thus capable of becoming tameh, they can lose that ability if the strings are removed. The Mishnah states the law. All these utensils are made capable of becoming tameh, and similarly, even once they have gotten this status, they are made tahor, i.e. they lose the ability to become tameh, without a craftsman. That is, even if a non-professional inserts the drawstring, the utensil becomes capable of tumah, and even if a non-professional removes the string, it loses its ability to become tameh. Although a non-professional will not do the job as well, he can do it well enough. The next Tana argues that this law is not unique to the above utensils. Rabbi Yossi said, but are not all utensils made tameh and made tahor without a craftsman? The law that a utensil gains or loses the ability to become tameh through the actions of a non-professional is not unique to the four utensils listed above. This law applies to any utensil. If it functions as a container, it can become tameh. If it does not function as a container, it cannot become tameh. There is no difference who made it into a container or took away that function. However, Rabbi Yossi agrees that there is a law that applies specifically to the above utensils, a law that states that their ability to become tameh is connected to the fact that their drawstrings can be inserted by a non-professional. Rabbi Yossi states what the law is in his opinion. Rather, this is the law that applies specifically to the utensils listed above. Although most utensils lose their ability to become tameh if they lose their status as a container, these utensils, even if they are undone, i.e. their strings are removed, are still able to become tameh, because even an amateur can restore them to being containers. Since it is easy to reinsert their drawstrings and make them containers once more, they are considered complete and unbroken even before their drawstrings are reinserted, and they do not lose the ability to become tameh. The rabbis did not state that a drawstring utensil loses the ability to become tameh if its string is removed, except with regard to a palm strip basket, since its drawstrings are so difficult to insert properly that even a professional craftsman is not able to repair it unless he is particularly expert. Therefore, this basket is considered broken if its drawstring is removed, and it can no longer become tameh.